First and foremost, I want to give all the honors, the praises, and the glory belongs to my Lord and Savior. His name is Yahweh by Sham, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Maharakah Kwadash. The name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh. His Son's name is Yahweh Shai, in who I reverence, and honors to the apostles that are in the Holy Spirit, and to the hopeful elect across the globe, and to the few, very few brothers and sisters that are listening and also learning across the globe in the hopes of being saved within these last days. Because you know we're living in the last days of the last days, right? It's a low end. This to be edifying, and this lesson is going to be based on, all right, women, which we hardly do lessons on these women and so forth, right? It's going to be based on women, all right? And try not to get too caught up, all right? Try not to get too caught up on these women, all right? Now, certain brothers, they're going to have women, but even within that, guess what? There's a balance, all right? There's a balance on how to deal with them, okay? And what to do. That's not the case for every brother. Now, we're going to go to Corinthians, all right? And start at Isaiah and 3 and 12. It says, Baba Kishar, check this out. As for my people, children are their oppressors. So when it's saying children are their oppressors, this is speaking about Esau, because he's younger than us. Remember, Esau came up first. Actually, now he's younger than us in the spirit, right? So children are their oppressors. Check this out. And women rule over them. So you have women, right, that are ruling over men, when it really is supposed to be the other way around. Really, it's supposed to be men ruling over women. Oh, that's a chariot. Nah, hold on. Is that nah, that's a bird. But women rule over men. Really, it's supposed to be the other way around. Really, it's supposed to be men ruling over women, right? But this is because we have a backward society. That's what happens. That's what happens when you're living in a backward society. Okay. And it says, Baba Kishal, check this out. All right. And you know what? Let me just move to another location. Because you got these fucking assholes. They so lucky about that. I had to change the spot where I was. Basically, bro, it's just nosy people, bro. We're living in a society where people, I don't know, bro, they ain't got no business about themselves. So I had to move just for a little bit of peace. Right, but let's continue anyway. So where was I? On Isaiah. That's what you do. You resist the devil and the devil will flee. Sometimes resisting means removing yourself from certain people, man. That's all. Alright? So where was I? So lucky about. I'm so sorry about this. Let's go to Isaiah now. Go to Isaiah. Just a minute. This is a better spot anyway. Isaiah 3. Remember, we got very high energy. We got high energy. We got the Holy Spirit with us. So there's people that want to come around that. Well, where was I anyway? Let's go to Isaiah 3. And I want to jump, so lucky about this. Let's jump to Isaiah 3. And before we were rudely interrupted, they do that. Esau brings these Sambo niggas your way. He brings all type of people our way to try to distract us. Go to Isaiah 3 and jump straight to where it said, yeah, and as for my people, children are their oppressors, Esau, and women rule over them. So we're living in a queendom instead of a kingdom. It's a queendom where we have women ruling in high sectors of society, right? You know, and now women. When it comes to women ruling, right? We know it's really a man's world, right? Because who came up with most of the things, the buildings, the devices? It's mostly men. It's mostly men. Right? Let's be real. Who constructs most of the stuff you see? It's men. Right? But they teach you women are equal. We deserve equal pay, equal, bro. Oh man, what you should be doing is just shut the hell up, make me a sandwich, and just play your role, and just be a woman. But society teaches us different. right? And that's why you have so much disorder, because what they do, they try to remove the man from the house, right? And leave the woman there. This is what they do. They remove the man from the house and they leave the woman, right? Which creates nothing but chaos, right? And anarchy. That's why you got a lot of emotional men within households, right? And it says women rule over them. Oh my people, which lead thee to cause thee to err, to destroy the way of thy paths, right? So there's a lot of people, right, that they're led astray. And yeah, it's for a woman, because a woman needs instruction. Now, in the Bible, was there women that were of the elect? It tells you that in John, yeah, there was, but it was very far few and in between. So this ain't a lesson to be, oh, I'm against, we're anti-women. Of course not, because bro, I love women. I'm sure some of you brothers do as well. But there's an order to everything. And if you're going to get involved with these women, and this is spiritual, because a woman was telling me this today. Someone was telling me to this day, I don't want to go into too much detail. Someone that I met today is someone got in trouble, or son got in trouble because woman problems. Be careful what type of women you're dealing with as well. Balance everything out, right? Because with women comes trouble as well. You know how many men are locked up because of women, or dead, right? Because of women. Or because I want child alimony and all that stuff, right? Okay. Or kicked out of the house, or she took half of the possessions and it didn't even belong to her, right? So now let's go to Corinthians. There's an order to everything, right? And within this society, I've noticed that they try to suppress you. They try to suppress your manhood. I've noticed that if you're too manly, this they don't like it, especially in the Western world. Now, when you go to Eastern Europe and them places there, the men are more manly and the women are more feminine. So really, if you're going to deal with a woman, you really want to get yourself it's up to you. Get yourself an Eastern European woman. You know, get yourself an Eastern European woman. They're more feminine. They're more in order. You see these remote Romanian women, Albanian, Polish women, Ukrainian, Slovakia, bro, they're easier. Even though they still got demons, they're more easier to deal with, right? Than the women of the Western world. Why? Because they've been taught that rubbish. And you can come to the UK, you can come to the West, and these women, they can just whore about, right? But I've got news for you. A lot of you women, I wouldn't even touch you with a barge pole, right? You need to be brought down to size, because they always teach it's just the man. You know, even when you see these programs, they have the man acting stupid and the woman that's intelligent. That's all trickery. Okay. Now, again, like I said, there is, within certain families, there is women that are more, it's very rare. There's women that are on point, right? When it comes to the families, they're more on point with certain, but that's very rare to find. Okay. And it says, Baba Kashar, let's go to 1 Corinthians. I don't know, if you need help with some paperwork or some office work, well, that's what you get the woman for, innit? But all them other things, the man deals with that. Okay, let's go. So now let's go to 1 Corinthians. You're going to get a lot of emotional men that get upset by this. All right? Let's go to 1 Corinthians. All right? We need to bring masculinity back. All right? Let's go to 1 Corinthians 8 and jump straight to verse 29. But this I say, brethren, the time is short. It remaineth that both that they have wives, be as though they had none. So if you have a wife, be if you had none. Those that are in this truth, concerning those brothers I'm speaking to that are in the truth, be as though they had none. So you're just not spending as much time with your wife. Why? Because you have to dedicate yourself to this truth. Okay? That's why. Okay? And it says, Baba Kishar, check this out. And they that weep as though they wept not, may go to a funeral or loved ones pass, be it as though you've wept not. Okay? And they that rejoice as though rejoice not, and those that buy as though they possess not. So that's a warlike, very manly mentality to be in. Right? Anything we possess is like, you don't possess it, you don't have it. That's what mentality we gotta be in. Anything you do have, any possessions that you could lose that, That's very stoic, very, you call it alpha mentality. I call it sigma. Type in sigma male, right? So that's what type of mentality we have to adapt to in these circumstances. Okay, let's see what else we got. Verse 31. And they that use this world are not abusing it. So we can't abuse this world. Abuse means to overdo. Don't abuse this world. Know when to get in, know when to come out, know when to be balanced. Know when we're being too worldly. All the spirits, the biggest spirit is the world, because you could be so engrossed in doing something, work, or your woman, or your children, that you may not know that they're removing you from the truth, right? So we gotta be cognizant of these things. For the fashion of this world passeth away. Always keep that in mind. The fashion is the way something's done. So the image of this world's gonna pass away. Everybody gets Jordans because you see other people getting Jordans. That's gonna pass away, right? Everybody's wearing red because they want to fit in, you know. That's gonna pass away. The fashion, worshipping a woman, that fashion's gonna pass away. And now women, they're getting worried now because a lot of them, they get to a certain age and their mother's telling them, keep your options open. You know, don't marry straight away. Keep your options open. So they keep their options open, and they get to about, I don't know, they get to about 30s now, 40s, and now they kept their options open. So in other words, they slagging it about, and now they got to 30, now they're looking, or 40, they're looking for a good man. Well, bro, you had the opportunity, the good man was there, but because your mother told you to keep them options alive, you squandered away your time. Now you're used up, and now that man don't want you. Right? Hello there. Hi. Now you're used up. Now that man don't want you because you have mileage. Right? You have mileage. A lot of mileage upon you. Bro, I understand this thing. Right? Okay. And that's why, according to the scriptures, a lot of people get emotional when they try to twist our words, say, oh, well, he's this. That's why the scriptures promote you marrying your daughter off from a young age. Because if you marry her off at a young age, and when I'm saying young, I've gave you the age already. But a lot of you are going to get emotional, right? You marry and even in the ancient world, the Vikings, they would marry their daughters young. Why? Because when you get to 20, 30 years old, by that time, you probably would have slept around, right? If you never stayed indoors, slept around, and now that man doesn't want you because now your value goes down. This is according to the ancient world. So that's why you would sell your daughter off to a man, and it wasn't just any man, it was a man that had that was equipped and that was trusted, right? That's how it was done, right? You would go into the bedchambers, right? You would get busy, and the woman would show the token of the virginity to the parents. Then that was a sign that you got busy. That's what you would do, okay? And with you doing that, that was a sign. Then you would marry your daughter off to that man, all right? And there's different laws in different countries. Stop fucking getting emotional because we said certain ages. Now, please, we don't go around looking for underage girls. We don't do that, right? Because I know how you devils are. I know how people are. Oh, he just said underage. No, they were married off at a certain age, right? They weren't married off at 30, 20 years old, because by that time, they would have no value. You do the math. See, a lot of people, they're too emotional, right? Too bloody emotional. Okay, but let's get back to the point. So where was we? But I would have you with carefulness. This is Paul speaking. He that is unmarried careth for the things that belong to the Lord Yahushua, how he may please the Lord. So those brothers that are unmarried, bro, that's a gift. If you don't have a wife, You don't have that attachment. You don't have that extra burden to carry. Because with women, we know they need to be catered to. If they don't feel loved, they step out. Alright? And it says, Baba Kishar, check this out. And I would have you, he that is without carefulness, he that is unmarried, careth for the things that belong to the Lord. So if you're not married, you careth for the things that belong to the Lord, Yahweh Shai, and him only. How he may please the Lord. So you have more time to please Yahweh Shai, to do what's good, to gain more wisdom. Right? And that's a beautiful. You're basically a spiritual Enoch. Right? Now, if it's in your... Let's get to it. But he that is married, right? And according to the scriptures, guess what marriage is? Marriage is sex. So the first man you slept with, that was really by the Lord. That's your husband. But they don't teach you that in this world. Right? The first man you laid that was your husband. Believe it or not. Okay? Because marriage, what consummates our marriage? Is sex. Okay? But he that is married careth for the things that are of the world, how he may please his wife. So the brothers that are married, they're more... They have to, even though they're in the truth, they still have to cater to their wife, and their wife caters to the world, because we know most women are worldly. So you're gonna have to cater to your woman now. She's gonna need to be pampered, right? You need to take her out every now and then, right? So there's things that come with that. There is a difference also between a wife and a virgin. An unmarried woman careth for the things of the Lord, that she may be holy both in body and spirit. But she that is married careth for the things of the world, how she may please her husband. So there's also women vice versa. She that is in the truth, she careth how she may what? Please what? Her husband. Alright? Let me say this again. Bear me just a minute. She may be both holy, both in body and spirit, but she that is married care for the things of the world, how she may please her husband. Right? And this I speak for your own profit. So Paul was speaking this for our profit. Not to be, oh, you can't have women, or you can't. Because Paul saw what was going on within some of the churches. And can a woman take you out of the truth? Yes, if you're not of the elect. Yes. What do you think Jezebel is? Jezebel, right? Jezebel, incubus. Yes, certain women, certain men have fallen out of the truth because of women. Alright? For real. Alright? And this I speak to your own profit, not that I should cast a snare upon you. So it's for our profit, not that I'm casting a trap upon you. But for that which is comely, and that you may attend upon the Lord without distraction. So Paul was saying it's not a snare, it's so you can really attend and you can focus on this truth without any distraction. Because we know if some of you brothers that have women, I can't tell you what you go through, but I can guess that a lot of you, when you're studying or you're putting more time into the truth, your woman starts to get jealous and say, well, you're not spending enough time with me, you're reading that Bible all the time and this and that, you're reading that Bible. And you start to get jealous. I've seen it, even family members. But this is mainly on women. They start to get jealous. Oh, you're spending too much time reading that. Why don't you come down and sit with me and get some of this box? So they start to do that. Then you start to see them demons manifesting. Right? Because women need attention. Right? And they hate it when you ignore them. They hate it. Where are we just doing it? Right? Ecclesiastes 26. And be careful what women you're dealing with as well. Right now, I don't know, there's different circumstances. Some of you, bro, were men, right? So some of you just you don't like them attachments. Some of you don't like relationships. Some of you just like to bang, right? Then leave, one night stand, whatever you call it. If the Lord can have that happen where you just meet a woman, you get jiggy, then I don't know, you don't really see each other again, whatever. But just be cognizant of who you're dealing with, because women have spirits upon them. And it's a fact, it's in studies The more men you sleep with, the more DNAs and the more. That's why a lot of women that have multiple sexual partners, they're mad, because you got different men's semens, DNAs are all up in your mind, right? Yeah, it's a fact, and it's unhealthy for the body as well. When you see women with a lot of cellulite, that's a product of having too many partners, right? Yeah. Okay. Let's go. Go to Ecclesiastes 26 and 3. A good wife is a good portion which shall be given in a portion of them that fear the Lord. So is there such thing as a good woman? Yeah, it says a good wife. A good wife. Right? Now there is women out there that they love to cook, they love to look after their man. Yeah, but it's very rare. Okay. Whether a man be rich, they go straight to 6. But a grief of heart and sorrow is a woman that is jealous over another woman. You get a lot of that within society as well. Even within a lot of these cities, right? These business places, there are a lot of these big buildings, and in the offices, you have women, right? They have work, they call them, he's my work buddy. So you have women that are so-called married, but they have work buddies. I know what that means. In other words, they have relationships with men in the workplace. That's what goes on. All types of wickedness and adultery is going on within these workplaces, these offices. Bro, a lot of wickedness happens. A lot of adultery. Right? And it says, Baba Kasha, some of these women be fucking the managers for a raise. Right? This is what happens. I'm sorry to get so viral with it. Bear me just a minute. Another woman has scourged you for the tongue which communicate with all. So you even get women, they get jealous when they see you with another pretty woman. Right? An evil wife is a yoke shaken to and fro. So that's why I said be careful. And he that have hold of her is though he had held a scorpion. Ow! A scorpion stings. You have an evil wife, that's like a curse unto you. Every time you come back home, she's barking. She's barking. You can't get no rest. Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Flipping out. Alright? A drunken woman and a gather abroad causeth great anger. In other words, she gets around. And she will not cover her own shame. The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and her eyelids. Right? Haughty looks and eyelids. The haughty means pride. And the eyelids are, well, your eyelids, right? Them eyelashes. When you see women, when they put on them big eyelashes, that's another sign of whoredom as well. Why are you putting them big eyelashes on for? Right? Okay. And if thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly. So you brothers, you have daughters? Yeah, bro, especially with this society, bro, with all the trafficking that's going on, it's best you keep them in straitly. Right? Keep them in straitly, right? So you stay your arse home, you ain't going anywhere. You to a certain age. Now, my experience with this ain't top notch because I don't have a daughter, but I'm just reading the scriptures. You brothers that know, you know. Now, I know you brothers that have daughters, you're like, well, you wanna, bro, you can't watch their every single step, because if they're gonna go out, they're gonna go out. I've seen it. Back in the days, they would dress, they would put on, they would wear a particular thing, they have their jeans on, they'd take them jeans off, they have their bag, they put their jeans in their bag, and they have a skirt underneath that. You can't really stop them from doing what they're gonna do, because they're gonna go out anyway. You just can pray and guide them and let them know the world is a cruel place, watch out, be careful, don't let men manipulate you, use you, and so forth. That's what you can do. Because they're gonna go out anyway. Right? Watch over and hold on. It says, if thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, right? Really, you want to keep her indoors, right? Make sure she's doing woman, and that's what the mother's there for, to teach her woman activities. Raise her up to be a real woman, right? And the father puts the discipline down, right? But it's the woman that teaches the daughters, right? How to cook, how many of you young women know how to sew? Do you even know how to sew? Huh? Do you even know how to sew? Or to make some clothing? This is what you should be teaching them. Do you even know how to cook? Do you know, I'm surprised. You know, a lot of women don't even know how to cook. They don't even know how to cook. So what are they doing? Getting fast food. Even that. All right? Should be baking your man some cookies. Some custard cream. And it says, if that daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through much liberty. See, this key. So if you just let her do what she wants to do and you don't warn her, she's going to start going out there playing the whore. Now, there is harlots that are going to be saved, so don't get it twisted. But that's what's going to happen. And yeah, I do know, because I grew up in the you could say, yeah, they say 1990s. I grew up in the 1980s, but I'm, yeah, 1990s baby. So I've seen it. I've seen it. I've grew up on estates. I've seen it. Right? And it says, lest she abuse herself with much liberty. You give a woman too much liberty, then she will start whoring about. Then that man won't respect her. Okay? Watch over an impudent eye, a hardened eye, and a marvel not if she trespass against thee. Don't be surprised. She will open her mouth. See, this is the Apocrypha I'm reading from. She will open her mouth as a thirsty traveller. You know what that means? When she have found the fountain. When she have found the fountain. You know what a fountain is? The fountain is description of my rod. Open her mouth. You know, blowjobs. Right? And drink of every water near her. She's drinking every water. Just lapping it up. This is the Apocrypha I'm reading from. By every hedge she will sit down. By every row, by every hedge. Right? Prostitution is a very big thing, by the way. Prostitution. Right? Now, there is prostitutes, right, that are going to be saved, okay? Yes, I said it. Because there is women out there that they have no choice. Right? No choice. They need to feed their child. I'm talking about no choice at all. Right? So there is prostitutes that are going to be saved, but there's different levels. Right? And you may ask yourself, well, what's the difference between the woman, your wife, and a prostitute? Now, I'm going to say this. This is going to offend a lot of people now. Now, one may say, bro, you have to pay for, excuse my language, you have to pay for some pussy. Excuse my language. You have to pay for pussy. Well, that's nonsense. Because listen. Even those that are married right now, they're settled down. Guess what they had to do? Right? Before you got with that woman, right? Guess what you had to do? You had to take her out a few times. Right? But the only difference between her is she's more of a high paid prostitute. You have to pay more. So you may have had to pay £50 one night and another £50 another night and take her out one more time, then you got it. Right? That's the difference. What's the difference between a prostitute and there's no difference. Because you still have to pay. The only difference is with the less they're charging you less. That's the only difference. Because you still have to pay anyway. So stop with the nonsense. Stop with the nonsense. Right? I'm sure before your parents had you, guess what? Your father took your mother out before they were your father. Took your mother out and he had to pay. He had to take her out. Whether that was less or more, probably had to pay more. Well, that's the only difference. And a prostitute just charges less. And they're in a particular location. That's the only difference. Most of these women are prostitutes. Well, you're going to get a lot of men that get offended now. Right? And it says Baba Kisha. And what's a prostitute? A prostitute is one that sells her body for money. Okay? Because you got other women that look at other women and say, oh, well, she's trashy, but now what makes you any different from her? What makes you any different from her? Because you know what I'm saying? The hypocrisy. Alright? You just a higher paid prostitute, that's all. Fuck out of here. And it says, Baba Kisha. And by every head she would sit down and open her quiver. And open her quiver, you know what that is, right? Against every arrow. The arrow would be the rod. The grace of the wife delighteth her husband, and her discretion will fatten his bones. So there is good. Don't think there's good women. If you're gonna get a woman, I don't know, go to some of these third world countries and, I don't know, go to Eastern Europe, right? And it says Baba Kishar, right? And the grace of a wife, and even these Japanese, let me tell you something, even the Japanese women, they're more in order as well. A lot of these Japanese, so-called Japanese, get yourself an Ammonite Japanese woman, right? And it says, and a silent and loving woman is a gift. Oh man, can you imagine that? A woman that's silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord. She ain't running her mouth, right? You don't hear her from miles away down the block. But some of these, especially our women, right? But they're full of flavor, but you hear them miles away. So I'm crossing the road now. Okay. And it says, Mama Kishar. So, hey, bro, that's a beautiful trait. It's not that a woman can't talk, but when she's silent, right? Feminine, right? And loving women is a gift of the Lord. There is nothing so much worth, right? Check this out. As a man, well instructed. A woman that can be instructed, right? She ain't bucking up against you. Bro, why would you want to deal with something like that? Right? Every time you and now, is there a certain amount of challenging? It's good because you need a certain challenge, but why would you want to come home to a woman you have to challenge all the time? Right? And it says, a shamefaced and faithful woman is a double shamefaced. A woman shouldn't even want to look you in your face. She looks at you, she has her head down, she's a bit nervous. That's shamefaced. Now, today's modern women, they were, oh yeah, they're all butch, want to look you in your face, right? Unbelievable, right? And they all got them haircuts as well, where they shave one side of their hair, right? When the women do that, you know what they're telling you? When they shave each side of their hair, that's them telling you they swing both ways. They like men and they like women. That's why they shave their hair. And it says Baba Kishar. A shamefaced and faithful woman is a double grace, and her continent mind cannot be valued. As the sun, when it riseth in the high heaven, so is the beauty of a good wife and the ordering of her house. So really, it says you're supposed to order your house, all right? Ordering your house. The household means economy. Another word for household is economy. So your household is an economy, right? You're supposed to have the house in order, not all outside, causing confusion, gossiping. This is where you got confusion. In our kingdom, that ain't gonna be happening. This is why you got so much confusion. Because these women are out here gossiping, watching too much EastEnders and Coronation Street, when your ass should be in the house. As the clear light is upon the holy candlestick, so is the beauty of a face in ripe age. And guess what? There's even women in their 60s and 50s. I've seen women in their 50s, 60s that are beautiful, right? Nice grey hair, beautiful face, nice long neck, right? Nice red lips. So there's women of age, they're still beautiful. Because they have their essence then, but all that begins with inside. Bro. The most beautiful women, most of the time, are ugly on the insides. Right? They're ugly. I've got a little tip for you brothers. You see a very, 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 very beautiful woman, pay her no attention and see how she acts. Pay her no attention, see how she acts. Because she's used to getting attention. You've got to stop giving these broads all this attention. Right? Okay, when she texts you, when she starts texting you, right, don't text her straight away. Wait for at least 10, 15 minutes. Right? Make them wait. Right? Bear me just a minute. We're the ones that wear the shoes, man. Right? Give me just a minute. Tell her to sit her ass down. Right? What else was me? Ecclesiastes 26 and 24. A dishonest woman shall be counted as a dog. So like a shameless woman shall be counted as a dog. That's a bitch. Right? It says a shameless woman shall be counted as a dog. So if you acting shameless, you're gonna be counted like a bitch. And stop, don't get offended, because I see women calling other women bitches. Alright? Oh, I'm a bad bitch and all that. That's that Nicki Minaj talk. And it says, but she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord. A woman that honoureth her husband shall be judged wise of all. So you honour your husband. Right? But she that dishonoureth him in her pride shall be counted ungodly of all. Right? You don't dishonour your man. And I've seen women do that as well. Disrespect their man in public. Right? The man's pushing the pram, and you got the woman like 10 steps ahead of her man. Why don't you stand next to him? What, are you ashamed of your man? Or you're standing with your man, you're holding his hand, then all of a sudden when you're in public, you stop holding his hand. Why are you doing that for? Why are you doing that? Right? Or you have a woman and she's wearing these tight pants, or she's looking all good, bro. You're supposed to save that for your man. This society is so, bro, this is what happens when you have the devil ruling. This is what you happen. Whole households get destroyed because things are not in order. That's why you need order. That's why you need order. And please don't tell me that rubbish that, oh, women, they don't like order. No, they love order. Really, that's what they need. Right? Oh, they tell you that he was telling me what to do. That's the man they like, really. They don't like a man that says, oh, just do what you want. You know? Okay. And what do the men do these days? They're indoors. While they're indoors, would you look after the children, please? And the woman goes out. No, horrible. It shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way. It should be... There's a balance, isn't it? It's a balance. There should be a balance to everything. Everything we do. And that's what we need. Balance is within this truth. Because if there ain't balance, guess what you got? Anarchy. Right? And when there's anarchy, all hell's going to break loose. Right? And that's what you don't want. You want balance, man, within this truth. So it goes both ways. So I'm going to shut off here. And you know what? Really, I had more, but you could always save that for another lesson. Right? But the scriptures deal with every facet of life. Every facet. And maybe if we did apply these scriptures, guess what? Things would be better if we applied these scriptures. Okay? There's a right order. Order to everything. Okay? Bear me just a minute. We get this as well, because I just found this. This is Ecclesiastes 42 and 9. The father waketh for the daughter when no man knoweth, and the care for her taketh away sleep. When she is young, lest she pass over the flower of her age. It says, and be married, lest she should be hated. In her virginity, lest she should be defiled. So marry her off. And gotten with child in her father's house, and having a husband, lest she should misbehave herself. And when she is married, lest she should be barren. Keep a sure watch over a shameless daughter, lest she make thee a laughing stock to thy enemies, and a byword in the city, and a reproach among the people, and make thee ashamed before the multitude. Behold, not everybody's beauty, and sit not in the midst of women, because you're going to be inclined for lust. All right? That's pretty much it, but there's a lot to learn. All right, these scriptures is heavy, but apply these scriptures and you see how your life turns out. So Lord willing, this was edifying. And again, everything in balance, bro. I'm not telling you, oh, bro, just be a complete stoic. But if that's what you choose to do, right, it's all according to one situation. Different brothers have different situations. A woman might be good for you in this truth, might not be. It's according to your situation. Okay? So Lord willing, this was edifying. And until the next time, Shalom.